I'd like to share with you a story about Jesus from the Gospels that I think you likely know very well. It is the story of Jesus calming the waters during a storm. And here's the scene as presented in the Gospel of Mark. Jesus sets out with his disciples on a boat to cross to the other side of the Sea of Galilee. And as Mark tells it, it was actually a caravan of boats. It was evening, so dark out on the water, and I imagine quite scary. Well, a great windstorm arose. The waves thrashed against the boat, and the boat started taking on water. But Jesus, astonishingly, was sleeping through it all. He was asleep on a cushion in the stern of the boat. The disciples who were with Jesus in the boat panicked. They were terrified, and they shouted to Jesus, "We are perishing. Don't you care?" Well, their shouts woke Jesus up, and calmly but loudly and firmly, Jesus said to the waves on the sea, "Peace, be still." And instantly the wind ceased. And then, of course, Jesus gave the disciples a bit of a hard time, wondering why they did not trust or have faith that everything was going to be okay. Well, I get the reaction of the disciples, and I have a feeling you do too. We have all been there. We have all been there in a time when it felt like the winds of life were thrashing against us, and we wondered, how would we make it? The year 2020 was such a time for all of us. The thrashing fierce winds of the COVID-19 pandemic, and for David and me personally, the thrashing fierce winds of his rare neurological illness. We understand what the disciples were feeling. So the news I am sharing with you may seem like another instance of those thrashing winds on the sea of the church. Because of David's health, he and I and our family all agree that we need to return to Cape Cod. I've informed the Church Council of this decision and will be concluding my ministry with you on June 3rd. A letter is attached in this email with more details, and I will be addressing this change of ministry in my reflection in this week's worship. Also, we will have a chance to have conversation about this in a Zoom meeting on Sunday at 10:30 in the morning. The Zoom details will be sent to you. I want to assure you that just as Jesus was not going to let the disciples perish, Jesus and God are going to ensure that the South Freeport Congregational Church goes forward with strength, with peace, with confidence, and with joy. The circumstances of the world and of life have meant that it has not been easy for us to be in ministry together. But please know that I give thanks to God for all of our in-person and virtual moments of ministry. And I give thanks for each one of you. David and I truly do love you. And we are filled with abundant gratitude for your most generous support and loving kindness during this time. But most of all, we rejoice at how being church with you in this time has blessed our lives with amazing, wonderful grace.